Greetings, pipe smokers. Smoking a Rebia vintage with some amphora burley. This is part 2 to my previous video, where I talked about people's reactions to pipe smoking and cigar smoking. And I noticed I forgot several interesting stories. So, for example, I noticed that kids of today don't know pipe smoking at all anymore. So for several times I've seen this happening, that children ask their mothers what this guy over there is doing here when I did smoke my pipe out on the streets. And when I was a child, I'm an 80s child, I was very aware of pipe smoking because there were still many pipe smokers around back then, but also from TV shows like Popeye, of course. And for those that grew up in Europe, you surely remember the Karl May movies with cowboys and Indians, the Winnetou movies. Even those from Eastern Europe that grew up in communism. As far as I know, the Eastern Germans made many cowboy and Indian movies that did fit the communist propaganda, where the cowboys were the bad guys and the Native Americans were the good, more socialist-like guys. And of course there were the peace pipe. This was very prominent. So I was aware about pipe smoking from an early age on. But as it seems nowadays, pipe smoking with the youngest generations is completely forgotten. Another cigar story. I was at a restaurant that had a smoking area at the bar, and when smoking was still allowed back then, I was smoking a Toscano cigar, something I wouldn't do today because I know how bad the smell of those cigars is. But I was sitting there smoking this Toscano, and the waitress entered the room, and she immediately called out, "Who there is smoking a Toscano?" I was like, "What? Yeah, I'm smoking the Toscano." And it turned out she is Italian, and she worked at a tobacconist in Italy. So she was very well aware of Toscanos, Toscanellos and all that stuff. And of course we did have a chat about it. And she had to return to Italy to sort out some tax bureaucracy bullshit. And she said she will bring me some stuff from the tobacconist she worked at, because she was visiting her boss then. And she did. And she brought me a whole bag of Toscanos, the special editions that are not available outside of Italy, and also some products by other cigar companies there. There are not only Toscanos, but several others, but I couldn't remember the names. Also some Italian sausage and stuff. So even cigar smoking brings people together around the globe. And you wouldn't imagine the Italian state how vicious it is. You know, if you have about 5 cent debt to the Italian state due to tax bullshit, they really go after you even if you live in a foreign country now. But they can't control illegal immigration. What to say? At the same establishment, I was once preparing my pipe, and they had a bar which was the smoking area, and they had a dining room which was non-smoking. Of course, they were clearly separated. And the lady from dining room, an older lady, was going over to the exit and slightly past the smoking area. And I was holding my pipe in my hand. And she said, "Ah, that disgusting smell. I hate this smell. Oh my god, nicotine will kill you, blah blah blah." And the funny thing is, I didn't even have filled my pipe. She was just seeing my pipe and was complaining already. As another fact why I couldn't take such people serious. I'm pretty sure I know who she's voting for. Team oppression. Thank you. Another story is in about 2008 it was. I was strolling to town with my mate Mr. K late at night, and we were passing the Sky Lounge, some wannabe upper class bar, very very expensive. And out of a joke I said, "Hey man, let's see if they let us in." And I didn't expect that they would let us in, but they did. And there was a huge non-smoking area that was completely empty, and a little smaller smoking area that was crowded with people. And it's that kind of establishment or bar where you meet the children, the spoiled brats of the wealthy people, the up and coming politicians, and everyone that wants to be or pretends to be upper class. So for every drink I ordered, I was looking at my wallet and it did hurt. But yeah, that's the way it was. And they had a humidor there with some cigars. And of course, if we could afford to be there for one night, why not spend the money on a cigar? And as far as I remember, we ordered 2 Ashton cigars, and they were served on a silver plate with a cutter and a heavy ashtray, as you would expect in an upper class bar. And we were lighting the cigars and smoking them, and suddenly some, I wouldn't call them ladies, some girls next to us were complaining about this awful cigar smell. Well, they could have had the non-smoking area completely for themselves, but they wished to go to the smoking area in a bar that has a humidor and serves cigars. So you could imagine our reactions. We puffed even harder until they were covered in smoke. Not the nice guys, but who's to blame now? Another thing that I experienced is when I now and then run into other pipe smokers. Is that other pipe smokers, at least where I live, are often not really interested to engage in a conversation about pipe smoking or such. And I realized that many people around here that still smoke pipes, mostly a little older guys, they are not aware of pipe brands, makers. They don't care about it. They are not aware of any pipe culture or community that is. For them, it is a habit. They buy any pipe they seem fit as long as it is cheap enough. And they usually smoke the same tobacco all the time. And they are really to act surprised or bewildered if I ask who is the maker of your pipe, what blends do you smoke, and they are really not interested in any sort of community activity like a pipe club or something. For them it is a habit. They started this as an alternative to cigarettes, I guess. But I was really surprised because I thought pipe smokers, yeah, we could engage in a conversation, get anything going. Well, that's not the way it is. Also the reason why we didn't have any pipe clubs around. I was aware of one, maybe two, but since the smoking bans, it has become difficult. But pipe smokers are not really interested over here in getting together or anything. Oh yeah, a story I almost forgot. I once met a young lady in her 30s that was smoking a pipe, and of course this is, you hardly run into any pipe smokers, but a lady smoking pipe is a seldom seen. And it turned out she had one pipe, and she was really surprised that I had 3 pipes in my pipe bag. She didn't know that I'm a collector and have several more. And it turned out she didn't smoke pipes because she liked the smell, the aroma, the pipes, whatever. No, she was smoking pipes because she was a left-wing ultra-feminist, and she thought this is a cool masculine thing to do. She had no clue about pipe tobaccos, about pipes, anything in general. And she told me she was cleaning her pipe by washing it. She put her pipe into the water and cleans it. So, the pipe thing community remains interesting. A lot of people, a lot of different people, different characters, people approaches to the whole hobby. Hobby, I wanted to say. But yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers. And hopefully see you next time.